What next for William Samoei Ruto and his brigades after the Super Tuesday? Because let's face it, William Samoei Ruto has been defeated. He has been embarrassed, and the outcome has actually ashamed William Samoei Ruto and his brigades. But the question is one: what next after today? Because so far 30 county assemblies have voted yes to the BBI bill. Only one county so far, at the time of doing this video, has voted no. But what next for William Samoei Ruto and his brigades? In this video today, I want us to look into the politics behind the county assemblies votes and what next for William Samoei Ruto and his brigades. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please, I want to just take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to thank you and just make one appeal. Please give this video thumbs up the way you normally do. I'll really appreciate if you give this video, this particular one, thumbs up. Now let us get back to business. And I want to go straight to the point. I want us to focus on how some of the counties, selected counties, voted and part of the country. Now let's begin with Central Kenya, or the larger Mount Kenya region. The larger Mount Kenya region, all those counties today voted yes to the Building Bridges Initiative Bill. What does that tell you? It tells you that President Uhuru Kenyatta is still the king in the larger Mount Kenya region. That's the honest truth. In Nyeri, only 2 MCs voted against the bill. In Muranga, all of them. And that's how most of them voted. Let me just read for you something which one of my friends updated 3 days ago. It's called Seth Odongo, or Dikembe, if you know him. Seth Odongo posted this 3 days ago. Like most US states vote on Tuesday, Mount Kenya counties have picked next week Tuesday to pass the bill en masse. The region, Hitheto Atangatanga Playground, will be the rear guard for Uhuru's legacy reforms. Next Tuesday will be a Super Tuesday. Now that's Dikembe 3 days ago. There's something which is so that the people of the larger Mount Kenya region decided, all of them, to vote on a single day. Probably they didn't want a situation where a county votes this way, then the next day someone is influencing it the other way. So they consolidated all these counties. And all of them were instructed to vote on Tuesday. And that's why it was being called Super Tuesday. All of them have voted yes. So William Ruto should think his strategy, should actually rethink his strategy on his approach to the larger Mount Kenya region. So that's number one. The second county is Nakuru County. If you followed Jubilee Politics, their first prayer rally, which they always quote, was actually held in Nakuru. Nakuru today voted yes to this bill. But something very interesting happened in Nakuru County. All the Kalenjin MCs voted no. And all the Kikuyu MCs voted yes. Then ODM MCs, because we have ODM MCs there, from different tribes, now also voted yes. So yes carried the day. But the 11 MCs from the Kalenjin community from Nakuru County, all of them voted no. So Nakuru is sending William Samoei Ruto a strong message. And he must be very careful. Because how come a cosmopolitan town like Nakuru, where we have Kikuyus as a majority, then the Kalenjins, then other tribes, how come only the Kalenjins voted no? If there is anything which ought to unite Tanga, then it's in Nakuru. But now we are in Nakuru, 2 tribes which were together voting separate ways. That's something which should worry William Samoei Ruto and his brigades. The third county is Nairobi. Nairobi voted last week. But the voting pattern in Nairobi should also worry William Samoei Ruto and his brigades. Why am I saying so? Nairobi County voted yes. All MCAs in Nairobi voted yes. None voted no. But we've witnessed some of these MCAs accompanying William Samoei Ruto to political rallies in Nairobi. And they've always been very clear in their minds, these MCAs, who normally accompanies the deputy president, that they are going to vote no to this bill. So it was expected that at least 5 of them, 5 known Tanga MCAs, were going to vote no. But what happened? Why did they refuse to vote no? In Nyeri, that MCAs who is always with the deputy president voted no. Sometimes it's just good to stand like that rather than betraying somebody. I would have expected the MCAs from Nairobi, at least 5 of them who are pro-Tanga, to vote no. So again, another thing which should worry William Samoei Ruto, the way he's been dealing with the MCAs from Nairobi. Let's go to Muranga. In Muranga, all the MCAs voted yes. None voted no. We all remember that Irungu Kenyatta told the entire country. Politics is very funny. By the way, just give this video a thumbs up, please. Irungu Kenyatta told the country that he conducted a survey. And in that survey, the outcome was that only 2 people out of 10 in Muranga County were supporting the Building Bridges Initiative process. So he went further and he even risked his job as the majority whip. The expectation was that if Muranga, because in Irungu Kenyatta's statement, he was very clear that he met with the MCAs, church leaders, youth groups, opinion leaders from Muranga County. So the expectation was that if he had this meeting even with the MCAs, and some of these MCAs told him that the ground is hostile, and because of that, he decided to resign. He decided to write a letter to the president. Then these guys, all of them voting for the document. What message is it sending? Basically, it's sending a message that Irungu Kenyatta was not sincere with the Building Bridges Initiative popularity in that area. And I'm choosing Muranga because Muranga is different from other counties. In Muranga, that's where we have Alice Wahome, another pro-William Ruto member of parliament. Do you want to convince me that Alice Wahome could not convince a single MCS from her area to vote for this document, or even 2 of them? Muranga is also the home county to Ndindi Nyoro, another pro Tanga guy. Even as late as last month but one, we had a by-election in Muranga County, in Kiaru constituency where Ndindi Nyeri comes from. They sponsored a candidate against Jubilee. This candidate ended up winning. After winning, she was sworn in. Today, this woman, or this lady, ended up voting yes. So is there something wrong with the Tanga perceived popularity or support? Or is the support cosmetic so that if pushed well, then you don't vote for them? Now let's get to Rift Valley, another interesting voting pattern there. In Rift Valley, Baringo has voted no. Of course, Ruto wanted to punish Gideon Moi, which is okay for politically, very right move. Bomet, Kericho, Nandi, Uasin Gishu are expected to vote no. They're expected to vote no. But that's not important. That's expected. There are counties which voted yes. That is Narok, Kajiado, West Pokot, Samburu, Trans Nzoia, and now Nakuru. Those counties I've counted are around 6 voting years. If you look at those counties critically, something is very clear from those counties. If you look at them critically, they are not challenging. Which means in Rift Valley, William Ruto is being exposed as a challenging kingpin. That's what is coming out. The Kikuyus living in Laikipia and Masais living in Laikipia, Narok, and Kajiado voted yes. Trans Nzoia, which is in Rift Valley but predominantly Luyas, voted yes. Nakuru, which is most cosmopolitan, voted. What about West Pokot? So that's something which should also worry William Samoei Ruto. Then let us go to Northeastern. Garissa voted yes. It is expected that Wajir is also going to vote yes. But Aden Duale at some point was very clear that they are going to vote no. But what next for the deputy president? Before we go into what's next for the deputy president, how is this vote or Super Tuesday going to affect or impact on Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga? Three ways. Number one, it's going to create the momentum for them. If they've always lacked momentum on how to push the Building Bridges initiative process, then the votes by the MCS, which is overwhelming, is going to give them that momentum. I've seen Raila Odinga tweet today. He just tweeted Super Tuesday. And the retweets and the comments were flowing there like rain. So it will give them the momentum. Number two, they can then decide to give the MCS, or to make the MCS as the face of this Building Bridges initiative process. Remember, Tanga were very clear that the signatures you were collected were fake. Okay? So they were approved. Then they went further that even those signatures which were collected and approved were never collected from people. That what happened was that the government forced chiefs and assistant chiefs to make people sign by force. Nobody has come out to prove that it was actually forced. So these guys might then decide, now the best thing, let us make the MCS the face of this campaign, so that the campaign is devolved. The MCS will be able to go to the ground there to explain to their people how they are going to benefit from the BBI. But what next? Okay, number three also, there's this propaganda that BBI is not popular. From this vote, Uhuru and Raila can go outside there and tell people that BBI is popular, because out of all the counties which voted, probably even 35 or 34 voted yes. So which means it enjoys popularity. But what next for the deputy president? In my view, William Ruto has 4 options only. The first thing he can do is to lead the no campaign. If William Ruto and his brigades honestly believe that the signatures which were submitted to IBC are fake, if they believe that Kenyans don't like the BBI, then they can do one thing. They can lead no campaign. And if they lead the no campaign and say we go up to the referendum, and then majority of Kenya decides that this bill is bad for the country, and they reject it, then that will be enough for them to move to the 2023 general election with a momentum which they require. So he can decide to lead a no campaign. Number 2, William Ruto can decide to lead or to provide support to the Linda Katiba Initiative. Linda Katiba Initiative is a movement which is being spearheaded by the civil society. They are lacking funds because Ndi abused the Luos and the donors said no to funding this. So they lack the funds. But there are people in that Linda Katiba Initiative who can actually push for its soil. So William Ruto can decide then, let me pump money in this Linda Katiba, so that even if you're going to be defeated, then at least you're going to tell Kenyans what to expect. We are also going to use that opportunity to create linkages between our team and the civil society. So in my considered opinion, Ruto can decide, okay, the best thing for me, let me support the Linda Katiba initiative. The fourth, the third option, which I think is what they have decided, is that William Ruto is now going to focus on his 2022 presidential candidature. Already he has realized that some support are cosmetic, so we need to go right to the ground to deal with the people. Elected leaders like MCs can fail you at any given time. So he can decide to focus on his 2022 general election, 2022 presidential campaigns. Remember, he said he had numbers. Those numbers are not there. Opposing this document means he's going to lose. Then rejecting it, opposing it, supporting it means he's going to give up. If you can't beat them, join them. So basically, he is not going to be allowed probably inside there. And the last thing he can do is to surrender. Surrender is a very good tactics in politics. So William Samoei Ruto can decide to surrender. Aseme, I thought I was going to defeat this thing, but I can't. Just like Professor Kivuta Kibwana said yesterday, that if I reject this document, then I'll go against my people. I just have to support it. And by supporting it, it means voting yes. So Professor Kivuta Kibwana was basically telling Ruto what he needs to do. Surrender. Support the document. And by surrendering and supporting the document, he's going to kill two birds with one stone. He can't be accused of undermining the president or opposing the president. And again, he can use the opportunity to start venturing into areas which are pro the Building Bridges Initiative process. I don't know what you think. Let me hear your thoughts on this particular matter. Do you think William Samoei Ruto has other options apart from the three options or the four options which I have highlighted up there? Let me read your responses in the comments section. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.